hate controls, people. So check this out. I am setting up my motion in CTRLX car, and just to give you an idea, this is all simulated, so they allow you, this demo model, to do your XYZ, and you can connect this way, or you can use their simulation that they've already got in there. I'm connecting it to my data in the background, and it's not quite working yet. Because I'm working on the PLC side, but the cool thing is, yeah, I didn't want that. The cool thing is when you get these errors, you know, one of the things that Rexroth is good at, and I'm glad they've changed some of this, because sometimes you can't access these things except when you're online. I'm sure there's a way, don't get me wrong, but for right now I'm not digging into it like that. So when I get online and I'm using their pre-made kinematic commands, I have to tell it which kinematics I'm trying to command. But what I like is that you can tell it where the command is coming from. You know, so regardless of the source or where you're commanding it from, it helps you troubleshoot. So then if you get back over to look at commissioning, you know, like right now I have issues, obviously, because we're only partially operating. Let's just go to kinematics. And if I go in here to commissioning, you know, it's telling me, as long as you populate it, if you don't populate it, it's not going to tell you anything, because that's the way CodeSys and most of the German stuff works. You have to be very explicit. But it tells me right here, it's coming from my PLC, and it's the PLC that's causing, or the PLC commands are out of order, or not quite right. So like when I go to reset, it'll reset momentarily, or actually it reset it all together, I guess. This is part of what I've had going on. If you notice, I've got to enable and I'm simulating a safe, but I don't have a reset if I come back and I get this, if I get these errors. So right now, on kinematic enable is true, but I've got output errors. And that's the other thing for this internal command, for this library. You know, I've got enable data, and that shows me, you know, I can go back in and check it. If it's greater than 0, then I know I got a problem, so I need to reset. So I got to put that code in. And yeah, I'm also seeing it here on the disable. So to me, it, you know, I don't know if we're trying to enable disable at the same time. You know, something's going on weird. To give you an idea, so like this move command isn't even in play because I haven't got enable disable stable yet. But if I go to access control, let's check out access control. So this is just powering up my axes, and right now the kinematics is off and I'm in error, so I'm pretty sure that's why the power is off. But that's the other thing. I want to be able to switch on the power here and get that to go. But like in this case, you know, it's still stuck in one cycle, so I'm getting a command. I don't have an error, but that's my command ID. So let's go back over here, go to axes. That one's in standstill, but this guy is still disabled. So he's powered on, but he's disabled. So those are things. And I'm trying to do the kinematics, so I got to get my axes all correct first, and then be able to group it for gantry, and then I'll be able to move. So, you know, one step at a time. And it looks like the rest of these powered on. So if I go back to the PLC code, I don't have an error. Well, that one probably didn't go because see how it's got the extra quote symbol. And then there's no error on the output side for, actually I do. So, Y and Z has error on the output side. So I've got errors on everybody but Y or X right now, but X hasn't been turned on properly, so. Anyway, it's just nice to have these, the whole point to this is that they're giving us feedback to be able to find out where our commands are going wrong, so that you can program properly. So I think it's a cool thing.